Hey everyone, welcome to the 28th edition of the Animated Girl Profiles Confidential. That's right, it's the animated is the 27th edition, 28th edition, I should say. And as you can see here, we're going to talk about a character it's been around actually for over 40 years. Yeah, this character's actually been around for 40 years. And that is the one thing about animes. Sometimes they come out of Japan. Sometimes a franchise or a character can become so popular that they last for a very long time. And Cutie Honey, who we're talking about here, started back in 1973. She was part of a magazine, a show, I think one of the Show and Jump magazines, or some kind of magazine she was part of. And it didn't take long for her popularity to really take off, to the point that she ended up getting her own anime series about a year or so her own anime about a year or so later. Excuse me. Yeah, she didn't get an anime until about a year or so later. Now, the original Magna run, as they called it in 1973, only lasted up until April of 2000, up till April of 1974. Now, it was the Weekly Shonen Jump's 41st issue, according to Wikipedia, in 1973 that she debuted in. So, yeah, she debuted in 1973 in the Magna, in the 41st issue. Now, at the same time, actually, I should correct myself here. At the same time, she ended up getting a series as well, around the same time or so. They don't really specifically put any date, but around the same time, she ended up getting an anime series in 1973, on October 13th, 19. Actually, they do give a date, October 1st, 1973. And basically the anime and the manga, and this is one thing I think about with animes back then in Japan, and even nowadays when they get brought over here to the U.S., is sometimes animes will be released and will coincide in release with their television, with their with the manga adaptations. So when the manga ends, the anime ends. That was the thing then, and I think it still is somewhat now. Now, both versions debuted in October of 1973. October 1st was the manga debut, and 12 days later was the anime debut. Now, the manga ended on April 1st, 1974, and about a day or so before, on March 30th, 1974, the series ended. The first anime series ended. Sorry about that. Now, the story about Honey here is a really interesting one because it depends on what interpretations you look at. The original 1970s interpretation dealt with a young girl named by the name of Honey, by the name of, I'm trying to make sure I get it here, by the name of Honey Kawasaki, I think that's her name. And basically, long story short, she finds out after her father dies, basically is murdered by the main antagonist of the first by the main antagonist of the first version of the anime, the 1970s version, the 1973 version, the Panther Claw. After her dad is murdered by this organization, only then does she discover that she's actually an android. Yeah, she's an android. And that she has been given and that she has been given basically, well, that basically within her is a device. According to what Wikipedia says, the original version is there is a device within her that can create matter from air. And basically what this means is she can use it to change herself into whoever she wants to change into. And all she has to say when she goes into her main form of Cutey Honey, all she has to yell is Honey Flash, and she transforms into the sword-wielding redhead superhero Cutey Honey. Now, later on, they would incorporate this to allow her to have more than just one transformation. And that was pretty cool. Matter of fact, during the original run, she had only 7 transformations originally. 7 transformations during the original run. Basically, her original transformations, her original 7, which includes her Cutey Honey transformation, her other transformations, the 6 that went with the Cutey Honey one, were Hurricane Honey, which was a biker transformation. Basically, she was able to disguise herself as a woman who is, according to Wikipedia, a woman who is quote-unquote cool with her motorcycle anytime she needs to escape. Basically, a biker. The other is Misty Honey, which ironically was the name given to a rival in a later incarnation that fans voted on for the name of a rival to Cutey Honey in a later incarnation. But in this version, in the first version, Misty Honey is another alter ego of hers that she could turn into. And it's a rock star with a dusty voice who can use her microphone as a weapon. Then she's got Idle Honey, which is a stewardess, a woman disguised as a flight attendant. Flash Honey, cameraman or woman, a reporter who blinds her opponents with her camera's flash. Fancy Honey, a model, a classy model who uses a long stick cigar as a weapon. Now, anybody that has followed Cutey Honey throughout the years and the decades will know that her transformations have expanded greatly depending on what version of Cutey Honey you would read or watch. Her transformations got expanded on. Now here's the thing: the original anime of 1973 to 1974. The original anime would not really come out here to the U.S. until 2.5 years ago. Discotek Media released a DVD box set of the complete series here in North America. So if you're interested in that, that is available. You want to see basically how far the Cutey Honey character has come, that is available to obtain. Like I said, the DVD is available. The DVD box set by Discotek is available in here in North America now, as of 2.5 years ago. Now, Cutey Honey did get revived back in the 1990s. In 1992, she was given a new manga series created by Go Naga. And the manga series in 1992 by Go Naga is set 30 years after the original. And it was released here in 1997 by the now defunct studio Arenkal as Cutey Honey 90. But unfortunately it had a problem, and that problem was it got criticism for bad quality and clumsy looking characters. It also got a video game in 1995 called Cutey Honey FX. And that was developed by Data West and released by NEC. I can only assume for the TurboGrafx. I'm not really sure. Let me check. For the PCFX, which I guess is the Turbo. Which let me see. Yeah, it's a successor to the PC Engine, the TurboGrafx here in North America. Unfortunately, we never got it here in North America, so that was the thing. So anyway, but yeah, Cutey Honey FX was released here in North America, not North America, but in Japan, part of the PC FX. Sorry about that, but part of the PC FX console. Now, in 1994, this is one that I'm more familiar with than anything. New Cutey Honey was released. That's right, New Cutey Honey was released. Now, New Cutey Honey only had 8 episodes. It was basically an 8-episode OVA, I guess you could say. The first 4 episodes were a complete story. Basically, they were like a movie. You take out the intros and the outros, if you will, like the intro and the endings, and you just use one intro and one ending, and you just splice it together as one movie, or splice the episodes together to seamlessly flow into the next. You basically got a movie. That's what you had there. But the later 4 episodes, according to Wikipedia, took on a Monster of the Week approach. Basically, every episode was a different monster, and it wasn't related to the other one in any shape or form. The episodes were released here in the United States by ADV Films. I know this because I have I know this because I have both volumes. I do. I have volume 1 and I have volume 2. Volume 1 is on a Variety DVD somewhere, along with some other stuff, and volume 2 is its own individual thing. So I'll probably have to give volume 1 officially on its own. Now, unlike the 1992 Magna release called Cutey Honey 90, New Cutey Honey, released in 1974, takes place 100 years after the original series. Time-wise, 100 years after. And that is, that's good continuity, if you will. That's good continuity. So, I'll have to give him credit on that. Now, unfortunately, like I said, it only had it. Excuse me. Now, unfortunately, like I said, it only had 8 episodes. Originally, 12 episodes were planned to be made. The people behind the new series were planning to create 12 episodes for this new OVA. It'd be like 4 episodes, which would be a complete story, like I mentioned just moments ago. Then you would have a Monster of the Week, and then I'm guessing another Monster of the Week deal. I'm guessing they were going to go with the final 4 episodes being a Monster of the Week, or maybe being a finale or something. I'm not really sure. Now, unfortunately, like I said, it only did 8 episodes, but a 9th episode was released. But it was released in drama CD form. Basically, you got a CD to go with it. It was basically the audio, from what I understand, from what I'm reading here, from what I understand, the audio, the voiceovers and everything were complete. They were done and complete, ready to be put to film, ready to be put to the animation. Unfortunately, that never came to be, so as a bonus for people that bought the series or bought the volume, they ended up getting a drama CD which contained the 9th episode, which was ironically a Christmas episode or a Christmas story. So they ended up getting that. Now, the one unique thing about New Cutie Honey, and this is one thing I even was surprised by when I looked it up, because I noticed there was similarities in anime and character designs and stuff. And I was also looking up other animes out there at various times, that New Cutie Honey included many characters and cameos from or based on prior works by Naga, such as Magzinger Z, Magzinger Z, and Devilman. So that was pretty cool. Now, New Cutie Honey did inspire some merchandise as well. It even had scale model kits of Honey herself being sold. The English language dub features, according to this, Jessica Clavio, who Naga himself picked for the title role. Now, it has had critical responses. I'm reading off Wikipedia here. I am doing that, so I do apologize if you're like, well, wait a minute, it sounds like he's reading off something. Yeah, I'm reading off Wikipedia here. But it says critical responses to the series have focused on its production values and voice work, and have explored Honey's transformations, which often tear off her clothes and show off her naked body as they occur, in relation to her strong character traits. It has also been compared and contrasted with other anime based on Naga's works. Now, the one thing about Honey's transformations is this is something that's actually gone on since the beginning, since it started. That's what happened. So again, like I said, since it started, since it began. Now, what's unique about the plot here, and when I first started watching it, I was, and I looked up information, and like it said here, found out that it's set after the events of the original 1973 Cutie Honey TV series in a fictional cosplay city. Basically, Honey here, apparently, from what I understand, doesn't remember she used to be Honey Kawasaki doesn't remember that she used to be able to turn into Cutie Honey, into the superheroine Cutie Honey, or that she was even a gyroid or android, whatever you want to call it. They call it a gyroid here. She didn't remember that. She didn't remember she could do that. She didn't remember she could turn into other people or whatever. She didn't know that. Now, basically what happens is one of the main protagonists in the first 4 episodes, basically the pilot, if you will, the pilot movie, confronts, basically the way she regains it is she confronts the biker gang and another female minion of Dolmek, and inadvertently, by doing this, she regains her abilities to become Cutie Honey and turn into all these other personas, as well as her lost memories before actually defeating the group. So it takes a confrontation with the main antagonist, who is the Lord of Darkness, Dolmek, voiced by Brian Bounds in the English dub. It takes her confronting Black Maiden, I think it's Black Maiden, and 2 mutant motorcyclists. It basically takes her this one confrontation to remember who she is, what she's capable of doing. So I kind of like that because, if you go from a continuity, if you want to establish a continuity standpoint, basically say that this takes place in the same continuity as the original 1973 series, which came out basically 21 years before the new Cutie Honey anime. if you want to establish that it's in the same continuity, but it's 100 years later, and within those 100 years, Honey basically forgot that she used to be able to do this. She lost her memories, but something happened. Something happened basically that caused. I can only assume that the Hayam family, um, the Hayam family, or basically Dannenberg Hayam, who, according to the new series, is 150 years old. He's basically 150 years old. He's a 150-year-old cyborg fitted with many sensors and tools. And is somewhat of a pervert because he likes to see Honey naked and not even ask her to transform to do so. That's according to Wikipedia. According to this, they live with his young grandson, Chokin, who has a crush on Honey and wishes her to become like Mayor Light and Chokin's parents, who themselves attempted to rob a city bank in the first episode. Chokin's mother, Dayako, is a self-proclaimed expert thief who can summon increased strength when her son is in danger. And believe me, there is an episode, I think it's the third or fourth one in there. Oh boy, does she ever get pissed. Believe me, you'd have to see it. And she is a descendant of Seiji Hayam from the original TV series. And the father in here, Hayam Aboka, loves his wife and son, but like Danville, is not above peeking at Honey when she showers. So basically, the father, Chokin's father, is like, ooh, I want to see her when she's naked. So, whatever. Now, so yeah, basically, Dialbill is the only character from the original series because, according to continuity, he's 150 years old. He's a cyborg fitted with sensors and tools. So again, I like the fact that the 1994 series does continue does remain in the same continuity as the original 1970 series, but establishes that it's the same continuity, but it's 100 years later, and that during that time, Honey has didn't lost her memories about who she was, what she could do, what who she's associated with, like to be around, live with, stuff like that. And I can only assume, because I don't know if it is explained, I can't remember if it is explained in the series, but I believe Dalibum, basically the grandfather, Chokin's grandfather, I don't know if maybe he found a way to erase her memories or something. I don't know if the Hayam family erased her memories because she had accomplished what she needed to, and now she just, I guess they wanted to do her own thing. I don't really know, but yeah, the series. I'll tell you. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. The episodes. I'll tell you this. I like I like the anime. I like the concept because yes, it is basically a TV-14 concept, almost TVMA in a sense, when it comes to certain scenes and situations. But I like the fact that it doesn't really go that far. Like it's a TV-14, almost PG-13, TV-14 anime, almost TVMA in with certain aspects, maybe almost there, but mostly TV-14, PG-13, if you will. I like how it kind of takes that concept of this is, as they put it here, a magical girl story, and they do more with it than I think you can ever imagine. And the focus, the sexualization or anything in the series is downplayed. I mean, yes, sometimes with the Hayam family, mostly the husband, the grandfather, maybe even choking. Maybe it is played for comedy relief when they want to see Honey naked, but that's just for comedy. Overall, though, it's not as played as risky as one would think, and I gotta give Go Knockin' and Toei Animation and those behind this a lot of credit. I really got to give them a lot of credit for not making it as risky or as mature or as a lot of the animes with that TV-14 almost to a TV-MA like setting would go to. So I like that. Now, Cutie Honey did get some live action adaptations. She did. She did get a live action series. I can't say that. She did get a live action series in 2004, as well as a 2007 live action series as well. Yeah, she did get two different versions. She got a 2004 film live action and a 2007, according to this live action TV series. And the live action TV series is known as Cutie Honey the Live. Um, the movie was just called Cutie Honey, and it was distributed here in North America by Bandai Entertainment. Now, there was another anime as well that kind of took place in between both live actions. The OVA that took the other OVA with a 3-episode OVA called like reply, RE dot dot Cutie Honey, Cutie Honey, and it's basically a 3-episode OVA. It was first shown on Animax, with the first episode airing with the first episode actually airing the day before my birthday in 2004, which I would have loved to have seen. And this happens, and this is released 2 months after the live action film was. Now, DVD releases for each episode followed, with the first on September 21st. The OVA tells the same story as the film, but contains nudity and additional character development. Now, basically, it says, well, Hidekin Ono directed the series in general. Each episode had its own director, and the 3 episodes differed in style. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. And like I said, it had a live action series, a live action movie, which was basically a retelling of the series, of the origin, I believe. And they actually do more. According to this, they actually do more with the series. According to the synopsis for the main characters in the live action movie, Honey Kurosaki is the daughter of Professor Kurosaki, and that she was a normal person until she had an accident where her human body died. Her father saved her by creating an android body and transferring her mind into it. Thanks to the AI system, she is able to transform into almost any identity she needs. So I do like the fact that they do give a little bit more explanation here as to how she came to be, why she's very human-like, even though she's a gyroid android. I like that. I do like that explanation. Now, Cutie Honey the Live. Let me see what this one is. Cutie Honey the Live began airing on TV Tokyo in October 2nd, 2007. Now, it does feature Honey Kurosaki, and it does explain that she does the same things that she does in the anime and all that. And everything. So that's pretty cool. And it does kind of do a lot more. So yeah, it's a little bit more different than others, and it does feature other characters that have almost the same abilities as Honey does. So, and I think it kind of gets a little darker at the end. I'm not really sure. Now, like I said, she had several animes. Like I say, 1997, she also had another anime as well. She did. I forgot to mention that she had a 3-season anime in 1997 that ran from 97 to 1998, which is kind of weird seeing as though it's 3 seasons, but I would assume it's it's 3 mini seasons is what it is. The season 3 being the longest. And now according to this, uh, now according to the plot for Cutie Honey Flash, that's the 1997 series. She's a perfectly normal, beautiful high school student until a scientist father is kidnapped by an evil organization, Panther Claw. Until basically her father is kidnapped by Panther Claw. However, her father left behind a device that she can use to transform into the red-haired, sword-wielding heroine Cutie Honey. Aided by Suji, a private eye who specializes in Panther Claw and the mysterious Twilight Prince, she fights members of Panther Claw in order to rescue her father. Now it does say this. Now this is one of the descriptions that Wikipedia picks up. It says, like new Cutie Honey before it, Cutie Honey Flash makes references to other series from Cutie Honey creator Go Nagi. Reoccurring Honey characters, Honey Kurosaki, Shinji, Dalabine, Nasuguka, Panther Zor, Sister Jill, and Milhar return in this anime, in the 97 anime, along with Alphone, Principal Pote as a poodle, Gorgon Claw, a female version of Akadu Gorgon of Magazine Z, Magnazer Z, Freddy Claw, a female blend of Dr. Hell and Count Blukin from Magnazer Z, and Baby Satan Claw, a blend of Magnus Jonas from Great Magnazer and Magnazer Z's genocidal F9. 3 boys from Honey School are based on pilots from Guitar Robo Go, and Great Magna Z briefly appears on a TV screen earlier on in the series. Now, she does have the same abilities and stuff as she does in the other ones, except they do add more to it. They do add more, and they do name them differently as well. They do add they add things differently as well. See here. Now, it says here, Honey receives help and advice and white flowers from the mysterious Twilight Prince. Among the things the prince gives Honey are objects invented by her father, the scientist, Takasin Kurosaki. Honey can use the element changing device on her choker by saying the phrase Honey Flash to transform in various ways and can heal from otherwise grievous wounds in a matter of hours. Honey can transform into a variety of personas in the series. She can change into versions of Hurricane Honey and Cutie Honey from the 1970s version, as well as these. Much like the original version, she possesses the Honey Boomerang and Silver Foulette as her weapons. After her element changing device is fused with Sarah's, she can summon the Flash Breath, a small crossbow that can launch arrows of fire, water, lightning, or ice. Now, here's what's unique about the 1997 series. Her transformations are Hurricane Honey, basically a biker who rides a motorcycle like the wind. Scoop Honey, a woman who is ready with her film and camera acting as a reporter. Stage Honey, a singer, a woman who has a microphone and a formal dress ready for an audience. Nurse Honey, a woman who knows medical needs. Elegance Honey, a woman who wears a white wedding dress, uses a bouquet when she's in danger. Escort Honey, a woman disguised as a flight attendant, and Hyper Honey, heroine. The hearts of Honey and Sura combine to take this form, resembling Cutey Honey, but with a different outfit and far more powerful. It says that later on in the series, it is revealed that Honey and Sarah were two survivors of a series of artificial created humans that were created to possess the element-changing device created by her father and Twilight Prince under Panther Claw before Sister Jill personally terminated the project. After the destruction of the incubant machine, Professor Kurosaki found and raised Honey as his own, while Sarah was taken in by Twilight Prince and Panther Zor. That's really interesting. Now, the 14th episode, according to Wikipedia here, introduced Misty Honey, a rival and self-proclaimed twin sister of Cutey Honey, whose name was chosen through a contest in Japan. They do acknowledge that, ironically, Misty Honey was one of the alter egos in the original cartoon. Misty Honey, unlike Cutey Honey, cannot turn into anyone she wants. She can only change to Misty Honey. She has a band around her thigh that resembles Honey's choker, which acts as the activator to her airborne element fixing device, but she uses a ring to transform with the words Honey Flash. Sarah's heart was poisoned by Panther Zor when she was found by Twilight Prince. The darkness in her heart and her flawed transformation device creates Panther Claw minions. Later in the series, it is revealed that Honey and Sarah were two survivors of a series of artificial created humans that were created to possess the element-changing device created by her father and Twilight Prince under Panther Claw before Professor Kurosaki personally terminated the project. Well, now they say it was he that terminated it, not Sister Jill. After the destruction of the incubant machine, of course, Professor Kurosaki found and raised Honey as his own, while Sarah was taken in by Twilight Prince and Panther Zor. Her alter ego, Sarah Hosaki, shares her given name with Sarah and Honey's child, who appears only who shares her given name with Suji and Honey's child, who appears only in the 39th and final episode. She can be seen as a negative version of Cutey, since Misty Honey has long blue hair and more revealing outfit, while Cutey has short pink hair and a less revealing outfit. While the anime and manga versions of the characters of Cutey, Honey, Flash mostly look similar, the two versions of Hazaki differ greatly in appearance. Misty Honey's attacks include Honey's Sexy Dynamite. Sarah's family name Hazaku is the classical romantic Japanese name for the 8th month of the lunar calendar. In contrast, Honey's family name Kozaki is the classical romantic Japanese name for the 2nd month of the lunar calendar. Kozaki corresponds to March-April, while Hazuka corresponds to September-October of the solar calendar, representing the opposite characteristics of the twin sisters. Excuse me. So yeah, that is basically, and I'm sorry this went long. That is basically Cutey Honey Flash, the Cutey Honey 1997 anime series in a nutshell. But overall, looking back on this, and I do apologize for this going over 40 minutes. Looking back at Cutey Honey, Honey Kurosaki's character, I have to say it's probably one of the best magical animes made for an older audience that has ever come in a long time. I mean, the popularity of the character. the popularity of the character, the popularity of the character shows it really shows through all these different adaptations through mangas and animes and even live action adaptations and even a video game on the defunct PCFX console. It shows the popularity of the character in a way that's never been seen, I think, yet. I mean, there are different. There are different animes out there that try to aim at an older audience and try to implement that magical girl anime that something like Sailor Moon has made very popular. But I think Cutie Honey definitely set, in my opinion, the standard of something that, if done right, can be brought back when needed and still be accepted. I mean, when I would watch the new Cutie Honey series from 1994, which I have on DVD, one of the things that she does there is she does more than just turn into different personas. She can actually become different beings, if not things. I'm not lying. In one of the episodes, I think because it takes place underwater or it's some kind of something that deals with water or something like that, she can turn herself into a fish woman. She does. She turns herself into a fish woman. She can even disguise herself as a completely different character. Like she took on the disguise, I think, in the first 4 episodes, in one of the final episodes of the spider guy. She took on that persona like you couldn't even tell it was her. And then in the final and 8th episode of New Cutie Honey, she disguises herself as a Buddha statue, as a golden Buddha statue. Like you wouldn't even know that was her, but instead she was a golden Buddha statue. So I think that's the one. So I will say this: that's the one thing that that Wikipedia and others forget to mention about Cutie Honey is she can not only turn into other personas and really get into that personality if she needs to, but she can become other things. She can become inanimate objects, like mostly statues and stuff. So, that's the one thing I do like about it. And I hope someday Cutie Honey does come back again. I do believe Go Noggin and Toya Animation. I think they are working on something. I just get this feeling. And if there was to be any anime that could get a live action movie here in the United States, without no problem. All you'd have to do is change up maybe the last names and that's it. But could get any live action adaptation for theatrical release, Cutie Honey could be that film. Could be that franchise. And with today's technology, I would love to see a Cutie Honey movie on the big screen. And like I said, you don't really have to do much. Maybe change up the last name and maybe Americanize. I know people don't like to hear that, but Americanize maybe some of the other names. But with just a few twerks and all that, tweaks, if you will. But keep it true to its source material. Keep it to what made Cutie Honey what it is, or who she is. I think a live action movie here in the States would be great. It would be tremendous. And honestly, if I was to pick someone that could match up as Cutie Honey, I know people might say you're not going to say Johansson, are you? No. I would say if anybody can match up to it, I would go with the lady right now that's playing Scarlet Witch. I would go with Elizabeth Olsen to be Cutie Honey in a movie. I would. And I know there's others out there that people would say, well, she could do better. I think right now I would have to go with Elizabeth Olsen maybe to be Cutie Honey. I would, because she matches up just perfectly. So, that's all I'm gonna say on this edition of the Animated Girl Profiles Confidential. I hope you guys liked it. Again, I apologize for it going for a long time. Of course, I was reading off Wikipedia, so that really didn't help. But I do thank you guys for watching, taking your time to listen and watch. Let me know what you guys think about Cutie Honey, what your experiences, past and present, are with her. And Let me know if you think maybe Elizabeth Olsen, or who do you think could play a live action version of Cutie Honey if a live action movie was to be made based on her here in the States. Let me know what